We're back with another episode of Middle Aged Mamas. The gang is all here. Before we get started, I went to the dentist yesterday. Got a cleaning. I actually love going to get cleanings.
I don't mind going to the dentist. I don't mind.
I love it. I feel so fresh.
My mother hates it.
What is wrong with you? You love going to the dentist?
I do.
Mind it.
As long as it's not like a root canal or like a cavity. But if it's a cleaning, I feel like it's a fresh start. I brush my teeth in the morning, right before bed, like religiously, because sometimes I only do it in the morning.
Do you always do that? Is that your routine?
I always brush my teeth every morning, but sometimes I will fall asleep without brushing my teeth.
The other day I went out somewhere and I forgot to brush my teeth.
But when I get a fresh cleaning, I'm like morning, night, get new floss, it's like a fresh start.
Oh my goodness!
She like she got brand new teeth.
I know. I thought you were going to say something about your setback.
No, it's the dip down. It's the dip down. That's what I was going to tell you. That's what I was going to tell you.
Mine is the setback.
No,
yours is the dip down.
I got a consultation on my dip down.
Yes.
For those who have no idea what I'm talking about, our New Year's episode, we were talking about things that we've noticed now that we are on camera all the time. And I was talking about how the camera angle looks like I don't have a bottom tooth on this side because that tooth is dipped down. Well, Don infamously named it the dip down. So anyway, the guy, the dentist, after he did my examination, I was like, so
did you call it the dip 48? Down to the dentist?
I was like, I'm 48, but now I have something that's bothering me. What are my options for this? So I'm going to get Invisalign on the bottom.
Yeah.
They're going to be all perfect.
So what is Invisalign going to do?
It's going to raise that tooth up like Lazarus.
Really?
Yes, what I
From
said.
The dead.
I was like, how is it going to just raise the tooth? That feels like it'll be perfect. You wear it for less than a year. You change the trays out. And I was like, sign me up. So.
Oh, probably because it's going to realign the whole
well, I never had braces on the bottom, but you don't ever really see your
braces,
bottom.
Period? You had braces before?
No, I didn't. But I did cosmetic stuff on the top, but neglected the bottom because you never see the bottom in conversation until.
Now I see it all the time.
Shut up! Get out of here!
She's a smile
but
like
I have one too. I have a setback, and I talked to my dentist about it. And I'm gonna get something too.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get that. I'm super excited.
I'm so happy about that for you.
Shut up!
Because I cannot not see it now that you brought it up.
I can't see it anymore.
Really? You mean just when you're talking to me, you're like looking at my dip down?
Yeah.
All the time?
Yeah.
Where is it? Show us again.
Right there.
Stop. I'll show you later. I'm not going to do it. Because now John makes me all self-conscious about my dip down. You said you always look at it.
I don't look at it, but I just
pops out.
That's so funny. So yeah. That's what I'm going to do. And then he was like, you know how they check other things? He was calling something out to the assistant. He was like, yeah, on tooth 11, there's a MILF. And I was like, a MILF? I was like, are you calling me a MILF? I had them cracking up.
Oh my God.
I was like, why is it called a MILF?
What
and then he said that what it was actually for, but I didn't bother listening. I just was caught up on the fact that I was being called a MILF
in the dentist's office.
Yeah. He said I have a MILF in my mouth.
That's hilarious.
So anyway.
That's so funny.
We haven't had pet peeves in a while. So let me hear what you guys been peeving about lately. Anybody?
My neighbors, I love them. But they always park their car next to my grass where I can't turn my sprinklers on.
Why not?
And my grass is turning brown because it gets their cars wet. And I feel bad.
Well, you should, since you love them, knock on the door and say, hey.
I don't feel like doing all that.
Yeah, that's what you do. Just say, hey, I've been keeping my sprinklers off because I don't want to get your car wet, but my grass is dying. So would you mind either parking somewhere else, or I'm just going to let you know I'm going to turn them back on?
Yeah, sometimes I turn it on and get her car wet at the back of it.
Yeah.
But then other times I just don't feel like, because it's like 3 cars and they're going to all have to come outside and move the cars. Sometimes I just don't feel like it. So.
No, do it Do it ahead of
before.
time.
Yeah.
Like, not the day up. Just
and then the other side, the lady, I will have just gotten into the house and she's texting me, hey, I'm about to water my grass. If you don't want your car to get wet, can you move it?
Oh,
And
see,
sometimes I'll catch the message too late and she will have turned her water on. Yeah. And my car is wet.
Oh, that's nice of her though.
That's
Because
a nice
people do it
heads up.
all the time to us, and
get your car wet?
I don't even think they think about it. It's just,
Right.
if you park on the street, that's can happen.
It kind of gets on my nerves both ways.
Yeah.
That's it.
But rejuvenate your grass.
I need to.
Yeah.
I need to.
I always have pet peeves. But I was thinking about that, something similar to that. I hate when people park right in front of my house.
My mother hates that
didn't you
too. I
send
don't
me
understand that.
You sent me a thing about that. A
Why
reel.
do you dislike that?
Like,
if
you're
one's
getting
parking
old when
there.
you hate seeing people park in front of your house.
Why do you dislike that?
Because
We think we own the street.
You're not coming to see me. Like, I'm not. What is annoying about it is that somebody will park right in front of my house and then go across the street to the neighbor when there was a spot in front of the neighbor.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that,
And
but
because we park in front of our house, and of course, like, I feel like I own the street because we got 50 million,
Okay, I get it.
gazillion cars. But yeah, I feel like you're gonna park, especially if there's a piece of street in front of the house that allows for 2 cars. But if
park
someone
in the
comes and
middle.
If they park
right
wrong
in the middle, so no one else can park there.
Yeah.
But that wasn't what I was gonna say as my
Sorry.
pet peeve.
And I don't mind if
that's
it's
just
like
one
a
of
quick 2-hour park, but don't be parking like
Right.
hours and hours and hours in front of the house.
Yeah, in front of my house.
'Cause we own it.
You're not my friend. You're not here to see me. And the neighbor need to tell their
My mom has that same pet peeve. Oh,
I'm
she
like,
hates it. She be calling. Can you come move your car?
But these are like strangers. It's not like the neighbors. It's the neighbors' workers or guests or something like that. I don't like that. But mine, because this just happened yesterday. It was the first game of the season for basketball for our boys.
They did well.
And they're having a trial period with varsity. So it was very exciting.
Nice.
Yeah.
It was very exciting. But
Did they win?
They won,
Yeah, they
and our
played
boys
2
shined.
games. Yeah, they won both games. But there was someone, 2 women sitting behind me talking the entire time. Not about the game, just about random stuff.
So funny.
Loudly.
They weren't talking low.
Was it the first game or
was the
both
first
games?
game. You weren't there.
Oh, I was gonna say because I was behind you. I didn't hear nothing.
No, it was the first game. So I think they were parents of the opposing
Other
team
team.
in the first game. They talked the whole time. I know sometimes I talk. I do.
She don't be even watching the game, and then she be like, "Back to my story."
But I do it if our boys are not in the game or something like that. We'd be like way up top.
Yeah,
like we're not disturbing.
it's not
anyone.
crowded.
These chicks talked the entire.
Did you do your turnaround?
I did.
Did she do like this?
I did my turnaround.
Dead in the face?
I did. But I'm also.
And what did they do?
They
Nothing.
kept talking.
talking.
They not thinking about me. And I know that these little pet peeves of mine is because something is wrong with me. Like I know this stuff should not bother me the way that it does. I need to diagnose myself. Like what
If they were
What it
loud,
is.
if
Yeah,
they were
they were
loud,
That's like
It
people
doesn't
who talk
matter.
loud. I mean, who have like the speakerphone walking through the grocery store.
I hate it all. I hate it all.
Yeah.
The movies, like I don't want to hear. I don't want to know.
Yeah.
I don't. It's too much.
Yeah.
But I know that it's my thing.
No, a lot of people don't like that.
But it bothers me. It bothers me a lot, and it makes I feel like I'm like a road rage. All the
it's
time.
something that you have to work on. But it's not.
By the time I got there, you were calm, cool, and collected. So.
I was because I'm working on it.
Okay.
And I was there with Martin, and I just kind of whispered to him, like, "Are they going to talk the entire time?" Like I try to act sane when I'm with my
It's
husband.
not a misplaced anger, though.
Okay, thank you.
I don't think that it is.
It's annoying.
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
It's not a misplaced anger.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Mine is early morning texters.
Are you talking about me?
Sometimes. But I told you already.
I'm an early riser. You're going to get this information.
Ooh. I'm not a morning
The
person.
ding at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
Ooh.
I'm like, not everybody sleeps with their phone on silent. And it drives me insane because my rule is like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. Unless it's like really, really important. But I'm not talking about you. I've already talked to you.
You were.
I've already addressed it with you. It's not you.
I'm not saying that you're talking about me.
It's not you. It's William has like a work thread that goes off at early morning on the weekends. I'm like, what in the world?
And he
I'm
can't
trying
hear
to
us.
sleep in on the weekends.
Oh.
I don't know what they're talking about, but it's like buzz, ding, ding, buzz at like 7 o'clock in the morning. And now
That's not early.
It is early for a weekend. It's very early. It's early. If it's not
I
important.
put mine on do not disturb.
But I think that people assume that everybody's phone is on do not disturb. But a lot of people's phones are not. And if I'm trying to sleep until like 8 and then the phone is going off at 7, unless it's
Are you
important.
awake at 7?
I'm not on the weekend, not these days because I
So
work.
you wake you up, ding, at 8 o'clock?
I try to push it to 8 now because during the week I have to get up at 5 every day.
Okay.
So on the weekend I'm trying to enjoy like full on sleeping in because I feel like 5 a.m. is so early for me. Not to just be awake in the house, but to get up and be out the door by 5:30.
Okay, so I'm not saying you're up and like stretching
No,
and doing
I want to
yoga,
still be asleep. Until 8.
So you're not just laying there relaxing.
No. And if it was that like before my rigorous schedule, I probably wouldn't be so annoyed. But it's a pet peeve. So I'm just like on the weekend, text at least 9 unless it's important.
Right.
But just the phone going off.
Or people text me like
I feel attacked.
Laser eyes.
I feel attacked.
No, I told you when you were texting at like 5:30 in the morning. Didn't I call you or I said don't text before 6 a.m.
Yes.
And that was that. But I'm literally talking about it. Just happened yesterday. Ask him; he'll tell you. Because I asked him, I was like, "Who's texting you so early in the morning?"
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, that's mine.
Yes. It's hot.
Are you hot?
Am I having a hot flash?
I think you are.
I think so.
The air is.
I mean,
on.
other than
You
I
should
don't feel
cold.
the air. Normally, I feel it
don't
like, and I need a shawl. But I don't feel
on my
it
feet.
right now.
You don't feel it on your feet? Well, it is hot. It's battling the 110 temps outside. But it's on. All right. So that's my pet peeve.
Oh, no, I feel it.
What you got, Don? You got something for us?
I already gave
You already
my pet
gave your
peeve.
No.
peeve.
On your phone.
Oh.
You having the senior moment.
I'm having a
hot
senior
flash.
hot moment. Yes. Communication. This is a perfect segue. I was on TikTok earlier. I have become addicted. I've been talking about that forever. But I saw something today that I thought was very interesting. And I know we've talked in the past about relationships and communicating. I think our husbands have similar personalities. But we've talked in the past about how to keep peace in the home, how to be our spouse's peace, I think is how we would talk about it. But I saw something interesting on TikTok. There was this whole thread, communication in relationships, feminine ways to speak to your man. This was based on, though, people struggling with communication in relationships. I think there's... I struggle with communication because I'm petty, passive aggressive sometimes. We have an audience today, and I that was a little side joke for her. So it says, let's talk about how to express your needs in a feminine, empowering way, especially if your attachment style is anxious attachment style. And so it says communication in relationships doesn't have to be hard when you know how to connect on a deeper level. So I thought it was interesting. These things definitely would work for my husband because he's pretty chill. He's pretty simple. But for some others, I think it might be kind of corny or it might be kind of silly, or people would feel like, well, why are women working so hard to speak to men a certain way? Are men also taking these notes and trying to find ways to speak to women in their lives that can be received in a sweet,
you definitely don't hear about
way.
Stuff like that on the internet,
right?
The
like
opposite way, right?
Are men having these conversations?
Yeah,
That's what I thought about. But the first one, and you guys tell me what you think. So it says, instead of saying this, why didn't you text me back? Are you mad at me? You should instead say, what do you think? What are some ways to say, like, before I give it away what they're saying?
Wait, is this a spouse or someone you're dating?
Or this just anyone?
In relationship, yeah.
Because I think it varies from how serious the relationship is.
So so it is talking about in relationships. I'm assuming like with the partner.
I think that can run the gamut.
Yes.
That one that she said about, are you upset with me? Why didn't you contact me back? That can go
if
for
it's
anyone.
like a spouse and they didn't text you back, you're like, were you busy?
Or a boyfriend, a girlfriend. I mean, this could even go for like a parent. I know there's been times when I'm like, or a parent-child relationship, sibling relationship. But this is what it says. It says, instead of saying that, you should say, I love hearing from you. It always brightens my day. It makes me feel closer when we stay in touch.
Texting that back to someone you're in a relationship with?
Saying that to someone.
Instead of saying, why didn't you contact me back?
Via text?
No.
Like texting that back? Saying that to their face.
Instead of saying to them to their face, why didn't you text me back? Are you mad at me? Instead of saying that, you should say.
And that sounds passive aggressive to me.
You think so?
Yeah, because it does. It sounds like you're trying to make the person feel bad without saying, were you busy, or just cutting to the chase. That sounds passive aggressive.
Okay, that's what I thought too, that it was just like taking this long kind of road to get to.
Yeah, who wrote that?
Okay. Yeah. All right.
But text communication is so I don't know what the word is, but you can take it in.
We've had our struggles with that.
But it's not saying text.
Out of context,
no, but Camila and I have had so many struggles with text conversations where we thought that it was taken
saying something and it really wasn't, or the vibe of it. Like, are you mad, or how are you? The feeling in the text
was show up at the door.
Yeah, and that's what we had to do, because it was like, I didn't mean it like that.
Yeah, because you just get deeper and deeper. So this one says, instead of saying this, are you losing interest? Why haven't we spent time together? What is a different way to say that?
If you saying that, you meaning what you say in that text right there. What's the problem? Why you not picking up and coming over here?
That sounds like somebody insecure and like pussyfooting around.
But it's saying that this is someone
that doesn't sound straightforward to you.
That does sound pretty straightforward.
Wait, what did it say again? Why did I forget already?
Are you losing interest? Why haven't we spent time together?
That's pretty straightforward.
That's straightforward.
That sounds very straightforward.
Yeah, that is.
But it also sounds a little
there's already a problem.
Yeah.
But if you're sending that, there's already an issue.
But again, it's not necessarily texting. This could be a conversation that they're having.
That's true.
Oh, I thought you were saying these are all texts.
No. I never said that. That's what you guys saying.
Oh, okay.
So this says to say instead, I really miss our time together. I always feel so connected when we spend quality time with each other.
That sounds like something I would say, but that's also passive aggressive.
You would.
I would say something like that. I would beat it, because it sounds like you're beating around the bush.
Yes, you're taking the long road.
Instead of just saying what you said at first.
Do you like all these juices and berries?
Juices and
well, sometimes it ain't all about your juices and berries.
Because everybody got juices and berries. And apparently
your juices and berries ain't as juicy as they need to be.
They're still going to be able to get to where they need to go with the juice and the berries. Okay, here's another
passive aggressive.
Okay. Are you going to leave me?
Oh my gosh, I can't believe
this.
This sounds like a whole conversation that was broken down into these different
it's a bunch of issues.
Are you going to leave me? I feel like you don't want me around anymore.
Say that.
That sounds like needy.
Yeah, that's
a needy person for sure.
Mm-hmm. What's the alternative to that?
That's not a turn on.
What could they say instead?
Does it give you an option?
Wait, say it
again.
Say it one more time so I give you.
Are you going to leave me? I feel like you don't want me around anymore.
Why are you laughing?
It's just ridiculous.
Is it corny? Like, I think it's just
Are you going to leave me?
Yeah, like, are you going to break up with me?
That kind of sounds
I know, but why would you ask someone that? Are you going to leave me? Wouldn't you just say, has our relationship run its course? I don't know.
Or yeah, like
broken up with somebody in a long
what's
time.
the deal? You haven't broken up with anyone?
And
in a long time.
I've never said anything.
I've
corny
stopped talking
like
to
this.
someone.
Yeah,
recently.
I would be like, dude, you ain't calling me. I'm gonna be out with somebody else. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not even
On to the next.
Yeah, I'm ghosting and peace out. That I was always.
Have you ever
very
ghosted someone before?
Have I ghosted someone before? Absolutely. Back in the day, yes.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Because you've been married for thousands of years.
It goes to Martin for a couple hours.
To come here to work and then go back home.
Yes. Within the house.
That's where you go.
She said within the house.
Within the house.
And go take her bath.
I'll be in the other room. You can be invisible.
In-house ghosting. That should be a thing.
Right
In-house
in my face.
ghosting.
That should be a thing.
He doesn't like it.
That's uncomfortable. I don't like doing that.
He doesn't like it.
We haven't done that in a while. A couple years ago, we went through a phase where we were ghosting each other pretty hard.
Yeah.
But
You and your husband?
Yeah, I mean, just ignoring each other. That's the way of saying
The
it.
silent treatment.
But it just feels awful.
It's very
and I think when you're friends with your spouse, you just feel like, where's my best friend? Like, we're not laughing. We're not.
Yeah, the silent treatment, I don't like.
I start to miss him after a while.
Yeah,
I do.
we broke that.
Because I'll be like at work and something will happen and I want to text him. I'll be like, oh no, I'm not talking to him right now.
Right.
You be forgetting.
Yeah, you're like, let me make up.
I'm
for
bad.
this.
Okay, so instead of saying, are you going to leave me? I feel like you don't want me anymore. You should say, I feel the most secure and happy when I know we're on the same page. It helps me feel safe when I feel that closeness.
Okay, this is the worst therapist ever. Whoever is seeing this person, break up with them immediately, because all of this garbage
it doesn't sound natural, and I wonder. And I have a friend who's going to come on the show who's a therapist. And when you're meeting with clients, when you're meeting with couples and they're struggling with communication, I think something like this might turn off some couples because it doesn't feel natural.
It doesn't feel authentic.
Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't feel like that's not going to naturally, even when there's another one, I can't think of what the communication style is or what the thingy is, but when you have to say, when you're mirroring back to someone like, oh, so
I hear you
to
say.
show that you that you heard what they said.
So what you're saying is, and then you're repeating it back. It's like,
I like that kind of communication though. I do because you're letting someone know that you heard what they said, and then you got a chance to reply.
Right.
To that comment effectively.
You're repeating it back to make sure
you got it correct.
Yeah.
But I think that's great in a environment where you're seeking
like
therapy, but not just in the house.
But not just regular.
Not necessarily.
Where you're having a conversation.
Because I guess if communication is an issue with whoever you're talking to, it is good for them to sit down and look at you and say, so what I'm hearing you say is,
no, you're right.
You don't or I'm not doing this, or you're not doing A, B, and C.
You're 100% correct. And I think when you sit down with your partner or your spouse and you want to have a meeting or you come together to talk about things, but not just in regular casual conversation, do I want everything spit back to me?
Right.
Like
I kind of do that with my kid though. This is a kid parent relationship though. Yeah. But when I am talking to him and I'm needing him to hear me, I have him sit down in front of me.
Yeah. And
be still.
That makes sense.
And I say what I gotta say, and I make him okay. So tell me what
that
what
makes
I
100%. That's why I said when we're in a regular conversation, I don't want my husband to say that.
Child, adult, I think so that you can you can hear me. I'm not telling no grown man to sit down and know,
and repeat back what I said.
Right, but I do appreciate that kind of communication where we sit down and I talk to you and I tell you how I'm feeling and you repeat back to me. So what I hear you saying is A, B, and C.
I think that works well when you're trying to resolve issues. Like couples sit down and talk things out and have a little powwow.
I just like to wait until I'm calm. I like to wait until I'm no
I don't think any of it works when you're not.
Yeah, I need to wait until I'm no longer mad.
Right.
Because anything that's said during the heat of the moment. Like, even if I'm saying, so what I heard you say was, it's going to have all kind of stank on it. I'm going to be on my phone. So I think what is important for me to let my husband know that I'm listening to him is to put my phone down, to look at him, to do the yes, yes.
You give him active listening.
Active listening, absolutely.
Yeah.
And he does something that I think is so sweet. I don't know how long he's been doing this, maybe a couple years. He'll go on like this he'll be venting. And it won't be about me. Typically it's about the kids or work or something else. And then when he finishes, he'll say, "Thanks for listening."
Wow, that's cute.
It's the cutest thing.
That's really sweet.
It's so cute.
It sounds like the end of a commercial.
And it sounds like he felt heard.
Yeah. Because
that's good.
Because I listen. I listen now because in the past, he would say often, like, "You don't listen to nothing I say," because he'll tell me, like, maybe he has like a work dinner or something like that. I'll say, "Oh, how come you didn't tell me?" "I did tell you, but you don't listen to me."
Oh, that sounds like the wife.
That's what he used to say. He would tell me that I didn't listen because I was not an active listener. I didn't necessarily care.
How did you flip that?
Because I would kind of feel bad sometimes when he would say that I don't listen, because it's such a setup, like, and I'm very sarcastic, and so he would say things like, "Oh, I don't listen to him," and I would say, "Oh, okay, go whine to your work wife and say, my wife doesn't listen to me."
Are you joking?
So then you can go have an affair, go have sex in the closet at the hospital. Like, I would just say just some wild, crazy stuff, like, dude, because sometimes, I'm just wanting
a reaction from him.
No, I don't allow him to be sensitive, sometimes. And so when he goes there, sometimes I'm not in the mood for it. And I'm just like, dude, okay, my wife doesn't listen to me. Now, I don't want to hear that. Sometimes when I'm in that mood. So he said it enough, or he would even say things like, maybe he would shave. And I love his goatee. I love a full beard. I love his goatee.
You hate the naked face.
Yeah. And so then I'll say, "Oh, you shaved?" He'll say, "Yep, I shaved 3 days ago, but you don't pay attention to me." He would do things like that. And so I did, like, he caught me on a day when I was feeling kind of sensitive. And so I have been intentional about paying attention. So I stop what I'm doing. And so that's how I did it. But
so I think one of the cornerstones of communication is being sensitive and being vulnerable, because you need to be both of those things in order to open yourself up and say what you got to say. And
I've been allowing him to be more vulnerable and it's beautiful. Like, we've been together for so long that I just feel like, say what you got to say. Let's move on. Are we going to be able to have sex tonight?
Just get to the point.
Yeah, like, I don't always.
Does this mean no sex?
Right, like, are we going to be mad and we're not going to be able to have sex? Like, what's happening? Like, sometimes I get kind of like a dude, and I really don't want to be, like, all in the feelings and all that stuff. It's like, you're going to be too mad to have sex? Like, what's happening? So
this is going to cut into my self-care.
Can we get to the
That's the self-care.
Right. Because that's so important.
Self-care for it.
It is so important, like, to be able to connect that way. Like, and I just really wish, like, and I've been seeing stuff on TikTok too. Like, there'll be this, because I'm addicted. There'll be like this guy, he'll come in from work and the wife just starts bitching about whatever happened for the day. And then he'll go up to her and just, like, grab her and give her this passionate kiss and say, "Not today." And then she'll just be like, "Oh."
You disarmed him.
Do you want
They're doing pornos on TikTok. That's like
she'll be like, "You want some tacos?" So I'm just like, just shut me up. Like, if I start bitching and complaining, just come grab me, give me a big old kiss, and just say, "Not today, Dawn." Not in the mood for your shit.
Did you forward that to him?
No, but I will. He's never said to me, I'm not in the mood for your shit. Like, we're just so polite and, respectful. Okay, next. This one. Why don't you ever call me? Do you not care about how I'm feeling?
This person.
If somebody's not calling me, believe me, I'm going to be calling somebody else.
They're just not that into you.
They're just not that into you. So instead, you should say, I love hearing your voice, and it makes me feel so good when we talk. Really helps me feel more connected to you. Thinking,
no man wants to hear that.
Complain to somebody about not calling me enough. I have.
This dude's going to be running.
I just stopped calling him.
But you didn't say it in that way.
You didn't say it all corny like that.
No. I was just like, why you haven't called me?
Right. Fool. And then when they do call me, like,
yeah. I let it marinate a little bit. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Let them sit on it. Mm-hmm. They ain't getting no tacos. Okay. Another one. Why are you pulling away? Did I do something wrong?
Oh my God. This man
it sounds like a breakup. Woman? It sounds like a breakup.
It just
broken into different questions.
I would be so annoyed. I would be like, here we
But
go.
you said that's for like the anxious
yes. So the
attachment person.
The anxiety is making this person feel this way. So instead it's saying, you should say, I've noticed we haven't been as close lately, and I really miss our connection. It makes me feel safe when we're in sync.
It sounds like somebody that just is very needy, is not aware of their own worth and their own self-worth, and they probably do need to take a step back from that relationship and work on their own self.
Because who has time to be formulating all of this? Like, what I do, that one little girl, remember that adorable little black girl and her dad? And he's in the bed and she's in his face saying, you love me, you love me, you love me, you love me. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Isn't a meme?
But
I think years ago, like during COVID time, right?
Yes, but
I don't recall.
And then he's like, yes, and he kind of has an attitude, and then she slaps him upside the head, and then she says, you love me, you love me. I do that all the time. I'm like, do you love me? And then he'll say, yes, and I'll say, how much? And then he'll have to say something, and I'll say, that's it. I do test him that way all the time. And so even today, I went to church. I haven't gone to church in months. I think the last 6 months, definitely the last year, the only time I was going to church was for a funeral. It was just really sad. And so this morning, yesterday I was on TikTok again.
You and TikTok. I can't even figure it out.
TikTok needs to give me some money. But I was watching this clip of this gospel singer and her children. She brought her children up on stage and they were singing. And she has the most beautiful, anointed voice. And her kids, who were teenagers, came up and young adults, and they sang just as beautifully as she did. So after that, I said, I need to go to church tomorrow. So this morning I got up, I did some chores, I watered my grass, and then I went in the house really quickly and got myself dressed. My husband was working on one of his project cars.
In the heat?
And it was really early. It was really early this morning. So when I walked by, he was like,
did you say that he fixed cars on his own?
He knows how. He's a YouTube mechanic.
Okay.
So I went outside. He was like, who is that? Because I was going through the garage. He said, who is that? I said, it's me. So he said, oh, you look nice. You look pretty. You got ready so fast for church. And so I said, yeah. I was like, I'm going to finish doing my makeup in the car. And then he said, oh, you don't need any makeup.
Oh.
And then I said, why? So I'm always...
Because you already pretty without your makeup.
Because you're already beautiful. I was like, good answer. So I feel like I've trained him well. Like I get, I get what I need. So, okay, here's another one. You don't love me enough. You don't tell me that you love me. Do you still feel the same? This is a whining chick. So instead you should say, I feel so loved when you tell me how much I mean to you. It makes me feel secure knowing how you feel.
So at the end of this, did they say anything like, how you should
they need a black response,
or like.
I was just thinking
it's a cultural thing
we need a black version.
But why isn't that a black response for somebody who is
because we're not that's not our culture. We're not
like that.
Yeah.
Well, what if somebody is like beat down in a relationship and you're like whining and trying to figure out how to please the opposite person?
They need to get
that if they feel beat down in the relationship,
they need to
whine
go.
into the person.
That's where this is coming from.
You need to go. This person, like some of the comments, someone said, "You'll never have to spend your life translating your soul when you've met the right person." Mm-hmm. I feel that too. I think that is so extra that I wouldn't, if I have to go through all that, ain't nobody got time for that, you know. But I also feel like choose your mate. We talk about this all the time.
Choose wisely,
treat kindly, because some dudes, if you try this nonsense, they gonna just laugh at you like you are nuts.
You just
they probably would stop talking to you.
And I think that men are drawn to confidence and kindness.
Absolutely.
You know, feminine wiles.
You think they're drawn to kindness?
100%. Yeah, when I'm kind,
I think so.
To my spouse,
you think
when
so?
I'm
kindness.
Yes.
I guess when you're in relationship with them already.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about already in it. No, I'm talking about when you're already
they like for you to
they
be bitch.
love it.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see that, but I'm only speaking of when you're already in a relationship, kindness, and people forget about feminine wiles. Those things, you know, now that everybody's so independent and, you know, we don't need a man, all this stuff. Feminine wiles are still things that men appreciate and like. And when I'm a total bitch, I can't get anywhere.
What's a feminine wile? Explain.
A feminine wile is like, just using your femininity, trying to get something, as opposed to why you didn't take out the trash, like being a naggy bitchy person.
Is that the same as like feminine manipulation?
No, well, I guess you could consider
it. Call it that.
Yeah, sure. You can probably, but that's what we have in us. We have a way to be able to get our, you know, it's part of human nature, and men and women relationships is being able to show little, you know, little cleavage, a little shoulder, a little this, a little, you know. I love when you, the way you, like William, when he fixes things and he puts nails in his mouth. Like, I love that. And he got it from your dad. I think it's sweet. It's so sexy to me. And I'll make comments.
Holding nails in your mouth?
Yeah, when he's fixing something. And he
hold nails in my mouth.
I've never seen you fix anything. He got it from your dad, though, so I imagine. But to me, you know, just commenting on those things, or like you said, he recently shaved into a goatee, and he knows I love that. I beg for it all the time. And he acts like he can only do it like twice a year. But when I met him, he had this, you know, goatee, beautiful smile. Yeah. So it always brings me back to 2005 when I see it. But just complimenting and, you know, things like that.
And knowing your partner, knowing your partner.
We already have the bitchy side in us, and that can come out a lot. So you have to soften it out with a little bit of kindness. It goes a long way.
My husband's not interested in bitchy, and I'm not interested in a mean man, you know? And I think that's, you have to know your partner. Yeah. You know, you have to know their communication style. You have to know their love language. You have to know all of these things. And I feel like in the beginning, that's when the work happens. That's when you're teaching someone how to treat you by letting them know, this is what I like, this is what I dislike. And it doesn't have to be in a corny way, because I know in the beginning, Martin would do something, I'd be like, deuces, that ain't for me, buddy. You know, and so.
How many times did you break up with Martin?
How many times did I break up with him?
We hosts together, courting.
Maybe 3.
Oh, that's not a lot.
But some of it was really simple. Like, it was never I'm breaking up with you. It was, I'm not calling you anymore. Like, whatever you did, it doesn't even deserve an explanation. Like, you did some craziness and I'm not down with it, and peace out.
But I think you're right. It has to do with knowing who you're picking because,
Absolutely.
like you said, when you're dating or when you're getting to know someone, sometimes they want like a bitchy, no nonsense person.
Right.
But you got to know what you're getting. You can't just be.
And I think that's not always constant. You got to know when to turn that on and turn it off.
Right.
Too.
Yeah.
Right. And I know with my husband, if I'm wanting things done around the house or if I'm wanting him to just do something for me in general, even if he makes a mistake, I don't bitch about it because then he's not going to want to do it again. I always joke and say that, my husband is so smart at work that when he comes home, he just kind of leaves his brain at the door for some of those simple things. So he would be the type, like if I asked him to go to the grocery store for some laundry detergent, he'd come back with dish detergent. And I wouldn't say, I would just say, oh, well, we needed that too. Thank you.
That's nice.
Or if
we needed that too.
Because we did. And so it would be little things like that. Or if he would make something and maybe it wouldn't turn out right, I'll say, oh, this is so sweet. Thank you for making breakfast. I let him know. Or if he just comes home and had a really hard day at work and he's complaining about it, I just say, we appreciate you. We appreciate what you do for the family. And that just takes it down, And so I think knowing your partner, knowing what's important to them, because I can do something all day long that I like, but if it's not something that he likes, it doesn't matter. And so that's why it's important that you have to be the teacher to let your partner know what you need, but you also have to be a student as well. Yeah. And so we've been together long enough for 30 years that we know. And so if he starts doing something crazy, like this is weird, but the other day we were making out and he was
out. Why you sound like high school?
I know, because it was like a makeout session and he was sucking on my bottom lip so hard. I was like, I want to be like, dude, like we've been together too. What the hell is this? Like, what's this new thing? I don't like it.
When that happens, I always say, are you having an affair?
Right, like
when something new pops out.
What chick you been kissing that likes this damn strong ass suction on her bottom lip? Like, go back and do that with her because I'm not feeling it. But I just kept kind of backing up and I was hanging on.
Why did you say Martin?
I was hanging on because I wanted what was coming next.
Why did you jump to the sex?
Why you just say, all right, let's just do it.
Let's already just hop on this because this other thing, like let's just the foreplay is played. Let's get on to the Like, what the hell? What is this? Like we've been together too long. I'm not into like the new stuff.
Did you say something to him?
I did not because
you didn't want to burst his bubble.
He made up for it afterwards. But
you didn't want to bust his YOLO bubble.
But I was just like, damn, my lip is because again, I'm thinking, are we gonna get to the sex? I feel like that's really like the answer for most things. It's such a wonderful stress reliever,
right?
Like those women, and I don't know if you guys are those women, but those women that punish their husbands by not letting them have having sex. I'm gonna be punishing myself.
I know.
That's like when the kids were little and they would be grounded.
Right, and you punishing yourself.
I'm grounding my damn self
from
because
the TV.
I'm telling them they don't get to go to the park. Now I'm stuck in the house with their bad ass.
Right? Exactly.
I'm not doing that. Like, you want to make up with me with some sex? Let's do it. You my husband. What am I be
That's
like?
one thing we learned in marriage counseling, that you should never like withhold sex like this. And then when you're angry, you should still do it no matter how mad you are.
My store is always open.
You mean to jot that down?
It's always open.
That's a mug. We've been looking for
I'm going to remember that. The store is always open.
It's always open. I don't care if I'm asleep, if I'm mad, if I'm sick.
What grocery
The store is always open.
What's that song?
Leave the door open.
No, eat the grocery.
I'm gonna leave the door open. It's always open.
I'm sweating now. Oh my God! On that note, we go in that on that note because now I'm hot and bothered.
I need to get home to my hood.
Yeah, we go release you so you can go have
I wish I had
your parties.
What did you say?
I said, I wish I had some customers.
Customers.
Nobody in the checkout line. No.
You need somebody to check out.
Yes.
You just passing the divider. You like, you can come on ahead of me. You can come. You only have one item. Come on ahead of me.
All right. I gotta go back. I gotta go back in the store.
She gonna take herself to the self checkout.
I'm gonna go to.
She gonna go to the self checkout. Oh my God, so funny.
One day.
Put it out there. You looking good in your middle age.
I'm gonna have.
We all fanning ourselves. It's hot.
It is hot.
Thank you guys
Unlimited.
so much for listening. If you want to weigh in on how you speak to your significant other, we're there for you. And hey again to Australia.
Who's number 2?
Australia. United States.
Number 2.
Philippines is big.
Wow.
And those are like, and some other places. But I always catch Australia because it makes me laugh. Oh no, Canada. So it's United States, Canada, Australia.
Oh, that is so cool.
All right, guys. Catch you on the next episode. Bye.